set. Yes, K not impressed. Kill him in that dress. Kill him in that. I know it's so. I'm beautiful.
My name is Chelsea Samuel and I go by Sammy. It's just a nickname I got over time from like soccer teams to whatever band, and my last name, so Sammy. That's where Sammy Approved came from. People started to call me that, like as my name. People stopped calling me Chelsea. And when I was looking to brand myself and like my senior year, I'm like, do I want to go by my full name, Chelsea Samuel? Like, what direction am I trying to go in? And I was like, I really want to get into like radio and these things that I have in my future. So I'm like, I need to figure it out. When I was developing the site, I wanted it to just be Sammy.tv, like that's it. And of course that was taken, Sammy.com, Sammy.tv, all of that. So I'm like, what can I do? What am I saying with this? And I was like, stamping pop culture. Like that's the whole idea of Sammy Approved. Honestly, my foundation started with music. I started playing an instrument, so music is like what I like to do. It genuinely is what I like to do. I like to listen to music all day.
Now you're soft like 300 count. Little rubber band tucking 300 out. Throw it on the.
I am extremely passionate, very outspoken, and I believe I'm really genuine. If I start a project or if I do something, then I'm going to do it to the fullest, like 100,000 quadrillion %. I don't know. So everything, from my career to my relationships, I'm very, very passionate. He said, I'm going to build your homepage and you're going to just stream your content through Tumblr. So while I'm doing that, just start developing content in November. So it was November, I'm writing stories, very little small blurbs like Drake released views, and I would just write Drake released views and like put a link up, but that was it. Like I didn't really write my opinion on it. I didn't know what I was trying to do. Like I was like, something just people see content. I didn't know what I was trying to do at all. But I was preparing for my launch that February of 2015, and so I had a huge launch party in DC. I think it kind of shifted the culture in DC a lot, to be honest. Not to like toot my own horn or anything, but I do think that it changed people's perception of how to create and expose themselves and their brands. I debuted a lot of DJs. Shout out to Cam Dooley, Cofield, CFLD, and Zeitgeist Collective. Like that was their first time DJing anything. So I did that. I had a lot of artists: DNA Sound, Wildflower, Porto Boys, a lot of different people in DC in that scene. Corbin Butler performing. I was tired, I think over the course of a year, because I just celebrated a year in February 2016. And I think over the course of that year, I learned that I needed to create and develop my own voice. I was tired of seeing the same headlines. Like Drake's dad came out with, or is coming out with a new album. Everybody said that. The Fader said it, the Complex said it, Pitchfork said it. We all said it the same way. All the radio stations posted about it. But how can I make that different? How can I make people want to click on my headline and click on my story and actually read it? So that's when I decided to do like these weird Photoshop photos of like Drake's dad on different album covers and do my album predictions. And so that's a spin on that same story, but people want to see that. So that's how I came across that, and now I'm just developing a voice, and people, like I said before, they respect my opinion about music, and they want to be Sammy Approved, and that is like almost like a exclusiveness, like, because I don't put everybody on my blog. Once you create that voice and that brand and that exposure, then people will say, hey, I trust her opinion. Now people are like, can you critique my music? And I'm like, why me? You know, like, I just like what I like. Just because, and that's another thing I want to tell people, just because I don't like what you're doing doesn't mean that the world won't. Like, I'm just one opinion, I'm just one voice, and that's the same for your dreams. Like, just because somebody doesn't like what you're doing doesn't mean that the world won't accept it. And who cares if the world doesn't accept it? Just do what you like to do. So that's like my one bit of advice, honestly, for life. When you do what you want to do, like life is cool. When you focus on like doing what everybody else wants you to do, it's not cool. Like I realized I read something in my passion planner the other day, which I'm like obsessed with. It said like basically follow your own unique journey, and you know the rest will come. Most recently, we had a really cracking event in DC called Chapin Bay. It's a silent disco that me and my partner Dodger on Deck came up with. He's from Atlanta too, and we both went to Howard together. And he's actually still based in DC, so we came up with this movement, and just the two of us, soft promotion, like maybe for 2 weeks or so. We got like over 300 RSVPs. The venue only held like 50 people. The owner let us have like 65 people. We only had 50 headphones, but the experience was like amazing. I also write for other publications like St. Heron. I'm an editorial intern for them, so I write pretty much, I try to write every day, but it's tough doing my own thing plus theirs. And I've also written for Time Out magazine. And just pitching to different companies and magazines as much as I can. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna be a media mogul. Not like P. Diddy or anything, but I just know that I already have my hands in a lot of things at 23, and I have a really, like a focus. People who know me and have met me, they're like, wow, she's really focused, you know? So that's pretty much it. I just know that I want to be the best at what it is that I do, and right now I have a focus on music. Like that's my very first passion. Along with like the brand and like giving independent artists exposure, that's mainly what Sammy Approved is intended for, is to create a space for independent artistry and to give them that, highlight that exposure. I also talk about mainstream things as well, but for the most part, I want to be able to discover artists in a sense, like A&R via a blog. Online, digitally, you can find me at sammyapproved.tv. That's S-A-M-M-Y approved.tv. And we're working on redesigning the site, so it's going to be some cool new things up there for you soon. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I have a page, it's Sammy Approved.
Suitable, cute from the cooch to my cuticles, and boo, you should know I'm so doable. It's quite provable that we
this may sound crazy, but live a little because niggas die a lot. That just means like living your life each day without any regrets, knowing that, you know, your life is not promised tomorrow, so why not do everything that you want to do today before it's over? Because I mean, like, you don't want to die not knowing that you didn't influence the world or impact the world the way you could have, and that's my belief.